Good morning, my lovely girls. Today we are going to continue explaining about the nutritive needs in chlorophyllc or green plants. What do plants need to produce their own food or organic matter? Now, let's share our screen now about the nutritive needs of chlorophyllc plants or green plants. In this lesson, we are going to identify the nutritive needs of chlorophyllc plant, name the mineral salts necessary for the growth of green plants. Before we continue, please, who can tell me by raising your hands what are the nutritive needs or important needs and necessary for the growth of green plants? What do plants need in order to grow or develop? Let's see who are raising their hands. Lynn, can you please?
Yes, teacher. The plant needs sun,
Yes.
water,
Okay, continue, teacher.
and mineral salts.
They don't need water?
No, they need water.
Okay, thank you, Lynn. Mute yourself again. So, any green plant or any plant in order to produce its own food or develop needs four important needs. These plants need four important needs, and these needs are, as we said before, water. Don't write, teacher, okay? We are going to write later. Water, sunlight, minerals, and CO2 or carbon dioxide. In this session, we are going to identify the problem, which means in the first activity, is water necessary for chlorophyllc plants to grow? Is water necessary for the green plant to grow? Let's find who are raising their hands. Yes, Batul, can you, teacher? Is water necessary for chlorophyllc plants to grow?
Chlorophyllc green plants.
What, teacher?
The water is necessary to the growth of the chlorophyllc green plants.
Why? If the plant is not watered, what will happen?
Because if the plant is not having water, it will die.
Excellent,
And
teacher.
be
Thank you, Batul. Sorry. So, if a plant is not watered regularly, it will die. So, our hypothesis will be, for example, hypothesis, as we said before, is a statement, please. Hypothesis is a statement we wrote about an experiment or a problem. About an experiment or a problem. So, the hypothesis should be a statement and not a question. What is the sentence? What is the hypothesis we have now? Ola, please, can you please read this hypothesis?
Water is necessary for chlorophyllc plants to grow.
Thanks, Ola. So, this hypothesis could be water is necessary for chlorophyllc or green plants to grow. Let's show this experiment. In this experiment, I have two plants. In this experiment, I have two plants, plant A and plant B. Just wait a minute. Okay, teacher, you have to look at this experiment carefully and listen to the audio.
Two identical green plants are grown in the same conditions. Plant A is watered regularly. Plant B is given no water for 3 days. Observe what happens. Plant B could not grow as fast as plant A because its rate rate of photosynthesis dropped due to lack of water. Photosynthesis produces the energy required for growth.
Okay, teacher. Please, who can tell me which plant is watered? Plant A is watered or plant B according to the experiment? Which plant is watered? Sabine, can you? Okay, Sabine, which plant is watered? A or B? Plant A is watered. What do you think will happen, Sabine, few days later? What will happen to plant A? Will it grow or not, and why? Sabine?
It's died.
Plant A will die. Sabine, please listen carefully, teacher. Plant A will die.
No.
Which one?
B died.
Why?
Because we don't water it.
Excellent, teacher. Thank you, Sabine. So, plant A is watered regularly or every day. This is the calendar used to show you how does the plant grow. And the plant B is not watered. So, few days later, plant A will grow normally while plant B will not grow. Who can tell me now what is the variable factor? Variable factor means what is different between the conditions of A and B. It means what is given to A and what is not given to B. Who can tell me now? Tala?
Yes. Plant A was watered regularly, while plant B was not watered.
Excellent, teacher. So the variable factor means, look at the variable factor, means the different factor between both plants. So as Tala said, plant A is watered while plant B is kept without water. Who can tell me now what will happen few days later again? Zainab Lazir, what will happen again for both plants?
What?
Plant A is gonna grow up.
Yes.
Plant B is gonna die.
Let's find if your answer is correct, Fatima. Thank you, teacher. So the result will be, excellent, Fatima. So the result will be that plant A grows normally while plant B doesn't grow well because it lacks water. Lacks water means it has no water. What is the conclusion of this experiment? The conclusion should be taken from the hypothesis. What do you think, Dalal, the conclusion will be?
Every plant needs water to grow well.
Yes, excellent. Excellent, Dalal. Dalal, can you please read again the hypothesis we wrote? What was the hypothesis? The hypothesis was water is important for the green plant to grow. Is it correct or not?
Yes, it's correct.
Excellent. Yes, it's correct. Why? How do you know that water is important?
We know this because plant A was watered, so it grew up after 2 days. While plant B wasn't watered, so it didn't grow up.
Excellent, Dalal. Thank you, teacher. Mute yourself again. So, the conclusion will be water is necessary for chlorophyllc plants or green plants to grow. Now, I have to solve the following exercise. Look at exercise 1. Exercise 1 told me that Kareem was wondering if green plants need sunlight now to grow. So, other need for green plants is now sunlight. In order to verify this hypothesis, so the hypothesis made by Kareem was green plants need sunlight to grow. This is the hypothesis. This is the hypothesis used here. So, to verify if this hypothesis is correct or valid or not, he made the following experiment. Now, can Rama please read the following about the experiment? What is shown in document C and D? Please read the document.
The plants are exposed to light in C and the price of light in D.
Thank you, Rama. Mute yourself again. So, I have two plants. I have plant C and plant D. Plant C absorbs sunlight, while plant D, no sunlight. It is deprived of sunlight, it means no sunlight. Who thinks what will happen few days later? You have to look at both containers or both pots. Who can conclude what will happen few days later? Okay, Zainab Lazer, please can you?
Okay, D has no sunlight, so its leaves will be yellow.
Excellent, Zainab. So,
and the leaves are green pigment, which have chlorophyll.
excellent, Zainab. Mute yourself again. Thanks, teacher. So, few days later, plant C keeps its leaves green, while plant D turns yellow. Why do you think Tala plant D turns yellow? Why do you think?
Because it wasn't exposed to sunlight.
Excellent, teacher, because it wasn't exposed to sunlight. Excellent. So, sunlight gives the plant its green color or allow the plants to make their leaves green. So, the hypothesis, as you said, will be green plants need sunlight to grow. While in number 2, we have to pick out the variable factor. Variable factor means the difference between C and D, as we said before, is what? Is that the variable factor in plant C is exposed to sunlight, while plant D not exposed to sunlight. Who can give me a conclusion about this experiment? The conclusion will be as the given hypothesis. You have to answer the hypothesis. What do you think, Batul Homs, the green plant need in this experiment?
Yes, the sunlight is one of the important needs for the plant to grow.
Excellent, teacher. Thank you, Batul. So, the sunlight is necessary. Let's see if it's your answer is correct. So, sunlight is an important need for the green plants to grow normally or keeps its leaves green. Excellent, students. Now, thank you.